Srimati Harsimrat Kaur Badal, the Honourable Guest of Honour, the Honourable Union Minister, Food Processing Industries, Government of India. Welcome to Srimati Pushpa Subramaniam, respected Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Government of India, and Dr. Subodh Jindal, the President of the Association of the India Food Processors Association, along with Shri Sanjeev Puri, present with us, the Managing Director of ITC Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honourable President of India, Shri Ram Nath Kovind ji, may I request you to please rise and to please remain standing for the national anthem. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Honourable President of India, sir, Honourable Minister, with all the distinguished dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, with our esteemed guests, special invitees, the captains and the leaders of the industry, and then all stakeholders across the value chain, delegates, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Today happens to be a very historic day, a very momentous and a celebratory occasion for the All India Food Processors Association as we celebrate the 75 glorious years of the association. An association which was established way back in the year 1943, even before our independence, and at a time when the World War II was on, and at a time when we were just in the middle of our freedom struggle. Even that time, the founding members had that vision, that durdashita, that forethought. And that legacy continues as the torchbearers today, all the more committed towards shaping a more glorious future. So as we celebrate today, we also have the seminar which is organized on the theme which stands extremely important and holds a lot of significance, not only for our economy, but for our citizens, for the farmers. Establishing clear linkages between the importance of food processing and then the reduction in the food wastage, the affordability and accessibility of food towards the health and nutrition of the people, and also towards enhancing the income of farmers. So as we set foot towards this very important vision and mission, I would like to request our Honourable President of India to please mark the auspicious inauguration of this day, of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations and of this seminar by lighting the ceremonial lamp. Also requesting our Honourable Minister, respected Secretary, requesting the President of the Association, requesting the Managing Director of ITC to please join. Of the supreme power of Ma Saraswati and the blessings of everyone. As we start the program, I would like to request the President of the Association, Dr. Subodh Jindal, to kindly welcome the Honourable President and all present here as I request and invite him for his welcome address.
Honorable President of India, Dr. Ramnath Kovind, Honorable Minister of Food Processing Industries, Srimati Harsimrat Kaur Badal, Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Srimati Pushpa Subramanian, Their Excellencies, ambassadors and diplomats of different countries, senior government officials, guests from the media, industry colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to welcome you all at the Platinum Jubilee Conference of All India Food Processors Association and express my deep gratitude for sparing your valuable time and sharing these historic moments with us. 75 years back, a few young entrepreneurs who had embarked upon a career to manufacture food products experienced grave limitations owing to the absence of proper equipment, materials, infrastructure, and decided to put the scientifically managed food sector on a stronger technological platform. Thus was born AIFPA in the year 1943, with abundant enthusiasm and a clear mission to give a new impetus to the sector. It was a turbulent period. The Indian freedom movement was at its peak. World War II was draining our resources, and food scenario was rather grim. We can imagine how these young pioneers must have sacrificed, braved all odds to prepare a foundation for all of us to build on. We bow in reverence to their determination and the spirit to take on themselves the task of nation building at the crucial juncture of our history. Ever since its inception, AIFPA has dedicated itself to the role of a pathfinder and closely worked with the government to create all that did not exist. The government's decision to set up a dedicated Ministry of Food Processing Industries in 1988 was a laudable step in the right direction. Dear guests, having traveled the long journey and achieving many a milestone, we still have a number of challenges at hand. The world has found a solution to saving wastage of natural produce by strengthening post-harvest handling and primary processing, catching the glut seasonal produce to prepare intermediates in industrial packs and make consumer products all around the year. Our system treats primary processing differently. While a farmer is compelled to discard tomato in the glut season, if someone converts into pulp and puts it in industrial packs for use later, it attracts 12% GST. If cut raw mango is sprinkled with salt for transportation and storage, it becomes taxable. The blending of growing and processing has not happened in the real form which should happen. Even though India holds the first, second, or third position globally in most commodities like milk, cereals, fruits, vegetables, spices, tea, sugar, herbs, our share in international trade is still small. While we have the resources, we have yet to use the same optimally and add value. We have an enviable 7,600-mile coastline, which is not efficiently managed, considering the immense food potential that it offers us. Under these circumstances, we urgently need to rationalize a few things, without which we shall continue to be responsible for our farmers' agony. Waiving farmers' loans is a temporary measure, but not a sustainable solution. We need to create a conducive regulatory environment and a realistic tax base. The Platinum Jubilee Conference attempts to bring together expert minds in a two-day sequence of technical sessions from government, industry, academics, research, and other stakeholders to brainstorm and evolve solutions. And I must say here, the food processing fraternity is extremely grateful to the Honorable Minister of Food Processing Industries and her team to share every concern with the industry. in its endeavor to strengthen processing with the ultimate objective to serve the consumer, enhance farm economy, and make a place for India in the global era. It is with this spirit that we gather here today. Once again, I welcome everyone at this landmark occasion and seek your blessings for a great future for this sector in the service of our nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Association highlighted certain issues and challenges and concerns of the industry, and as we move towards addressing it, at the outset, we would like to once again thank the Honorable President of India for leading the talks and, in fact, dignifying and magnifying this entire event. As we express our thanks to him, I would like to request Dr. Subodh Jindal, the President of the All India Food Processors Association, to kindly felicitate the Honorable President of India, and would like to request our Honorable President to please accept this token of our gratitude and regards to him. May I request Dr. Jindal also to felicitate our Honorable Minister, Srimati Harsimrat Kaur Badal, as we thank her for her presence and for further guiding us and being always with the industry. Thank you, ma'am. We now seek the views of the veterans and the titans of the industry, getting an industry perspective. Would like to request Shri Sanjeev Puri, the Managing Director of ITC Limited, for his address.
Honorable President of India, Dr. Ramnath Kovindji, Honorable Minister of Food Processing, Srimati Harsimrat Badalji, Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing, Mrs. Shushma Subramaniam, Dr. Subodh Jindal, stalwarts of the food processing industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a privilege for me to be here today on this very special occasion as the All India Food Processing Association celebrates its Platinum Jubilee. Honorable President, your presence here is indeed a tremendous source of inspiration to all the stakeholders in this industry. I've read with deep interest your views in praise of Indian farmers, their resilience, the capacity to adapt and innovate. With our decades-old relationship with the farmers in India and our experience, our views completely resonate with this. Let me offer my heartiest congratulations on this very special occasion to the All India Food Processing Association and compliment all its members for the contribution they have made in creating, and particularly so for a lot of you who are from the small and medium enterprises that have made a tremendous contribution in building this crucial sector of the Indian economy. Agriculture, as you all know, is the lifeline of the economy. Besides providing nutrition, nearly half of India's workforce is engaged in agriculture. 2/3 of rural India derives its livelihood from agriculture. And food processing industry can actually play a crucial role in enhancing efficiencies in the agri-value chain and thereby contributing to enhanced farm incomes. However, today, the level of processing in India is quite limited. It's generally about 10%. For fruits and vegetables, it's as low as 3 or 4%, whereas in the developed economies, this figure is anywhere between 50 to 80%. Now, this is reflective of the tremendous potential that this sector has. And India, as a very large and consuming market, where the bulk of the consumption is in the food sector, offers tremendous opportunity. And there is also a perceptible shift that we are seeing in consumer preferences for more value-added, nutrition, and tasty food products. Given the rising incomes, urbanization, and over time, as processed foods become more accessible and affordable with enabling policies, this trend is only going to accentuate. So there is very clearly a lot more opportunity, a lot more latent opportunity in this sector. And to exemplify the potential, may I seek your indulgence and share with you what we in ITC are doing to take benefit of this potential. We are taking an integrated farm to fork view, and we are making substantive investments. We are setting up 20 integrated mega food parks across the length and breadth of the country. We are also making substantive investments in research and development through our ITC Life Sciences and Technology Center, where we have 350 scientists and about close to 800 patents as of today, trying to create products for today and tomorrow. And in line with our philosophy to make a meaningful contribution to society, we are also working with a very important stakeholders, the farmers. The endeavor is to create inclusive, competitive, and sustainable value chains to empower the farmers and make a difference to their lives. And we do so through our globally acknowledged e-Chopal, which today empowers 4 million farmers, providing them information on best practices. Our targeted programs like 12 Mahine Haryali seeks to double farm incomes. Our programs on climate smart agriculture and integrated watershed management seeks to create sustainable agri-value chains. And just as a testimony to the resilience and innovative capacity of Indian farmers, may I quote to you 2 examples. In a very short period of time, when we launched this program, 12 Mahine Haryali, in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, in about a couple of years, while adopting all these practices, a large percentage of farmers have actually reported doubling of their incomes, and some have even gone beyond. Very recently this year, we started to work with farmers in Punjab around our new mega food processing plant at Kapurthala. Farmers spread over 30,000 acres, educating them on best practices. And I'm happy to share with you that this year, in 99.6% of the area, stubble burning was not done. In fact, they practiced zero tillage that improves productivity and eliminates the need to burn the stubble, which is a source of pollution, including in Delhi. Besides the opportunity in India, I think there is tremendous opportunity in the global markets. And it is a matter of pride. I'm sure all of you share the collective pride that Indian agri-produce and food products find their presence in shelves across the globes. We can, of course, create a lot more value for the nation, for ourselves, and for the farmers by actually positioning in these shelves brands that are made in India and that will accrue a lot of value back to the country. And given India's strengths in this sector, I do see this happening in the foreseeable future. Once again, heartiest congratulations on this special occasions. Wish you all continued success and great fulfillment in the years ahead. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful views and perspective on the potential of the industry. And now I would like to request our Honorable Union Minister of Food Processing Industries, Madam Srimati Harsimrat Kaur Badal ji, to kindly release the Platinum Jubilee souvenir and then further present the first copy of the souvenir to the Honorable President of India. Thank you, ma'am. And ladies and gentlemen, we have tried to capture these 75 glorious years, the various milestones achieved by the association, the achievements, the contributions in a small video, which we would now like to present. If you can have the AV, please.
What we eat is food, and our mind is its manifestation. Human body requires energy to perform essential, life-sustaining activities, and food is the source of this energy. Rig Ved and Atharva Ved are the earliest documents of knowledge and science that form the basis of the rich Indian food heritage. Indian cuisine is an 8,000-year-old chronicle reflecting usage of a wide range of agri-produce such as milk, cereals, legumes, fruits, vegetables, spices, honey, tea, sugar, oil seeds, herbs, etc. Some of the staple foods consumed today, including rice, wheat, lentils and millets, have been cultivated in the Indian subcontinent since times immemorial. India shares the first 3 positions among global producers of most food commodities. Our country has 7,500-kilometer long coastline, which provides a fantastic advantage to harness marine foods as one of the most sought after for domestic consumption and exports. The government and industry are making their best efforts to fully harness our vast natural resources efficiently and increase our share in the global trade of fresh and processed foods. It is interesting to note that while the country was facing the turbulence of struggle for independence, some pioneers realized the urgent need to promote technology-based food processing industry as an endeavor to save wastage of farm produce and make available food to our people throughout the year. All India Food Processors Association was formed in 1943 for this purpose. Exclusively dedicated to food processing, AIFPA has always undertaken the responsibility for newer technologies, modern packaging, infrastructure and policy development with the concerned government bodies to mitigate the bottlenecks which hinder growth. AIFPA adopted the motto, "Nature gives food, processing adds value," to highlight the role processing plays in the food chain. We fondly recall Indian Institute of Fruit Technology, Lyalpur, which was later restructured as CFTRI and established at Mysuru. Initial batches from IIFT set the foundation of Indian food industry. For the last 75 years, AIFPA has been working together with entrepreneurs as well as central and state government bodies, helping to evolve an enabling environment for the growth of food industry. The association interacts with academic and research institutions to find technological solutions for industry problems. AIFPA confers awards every year to scientists, technologists, entrepreneurs. The association regularly brings out a monthly e-newsletter, a bi-monthly journal. AIFPA takes pleasure in celebrating its Platinum Jubilee on the completion of a commemorative journey of 75 dedicated years. The theme of the conference is "Food Sustains Life, Processing Sustains Food." Food is fundamental to sustain life. Nature provides food which needs to be processed for consumption. Processing saves food from spoilage, adds value, and propels the food chain from farmer to consumer. The 2-day Platinum Jubilee Conference will focus on the rich Indian food heritage, integrating the logistics related to value chain and cold chain to save wastages. Realistic regulations, a must for growth. Efficient technologies required to meet future challenges. Indian food industry is continuously expanding its footprint in overseas market, even while facing substantial hurdles. There are also concerns on logistics and port infrastructure. thinking of the long-term vision for Indian food industry, follow nature to lead.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to recognize and honor people who have given a very strong foundation to the association and to the industry as we present the All India Food Processors Association Platinum Jubilee Special Awards. Would like to request the Honorable President of India to kindly bestow the honor along with our Honorable Minister and all the dignitaries on the dais. If I can request all of them to please step forward in recognizing the individuals who have contributed immensely, the Lifetime Achievement Awards as we present now. The first award, ladies and gentlemen, is the Lifetime Achievement Award for Pioneer in Food Processing, and first for the MSME sector, recognizing Shri Samarendranath Mitra, the Managing Director of Media and Company Private Limited. Unfortunately, because of his sudden illness, he's not been able to join, but we have Shri Soumya Kumar Mitra, the grandson, joining us here to receive the award. And in fact, we wish Shri Samarendranath Mitra a speedy recovery. Many congratulations to his family. He's been a pioneer, a veteran, a torchbearer, the leader of the industry as we recognize him here. For the large sector, recognition to Shri Yogesh Chandra Deveshwar, the chairman of ITC Limited. Again, ladies and gentlemen, one of the pioneers, the veterans of the industry joining us here, being recognized for the life well spent as a role model, sustained dedication, establishing good connectivity, being result-oriented, and keeping the flock together. His contribution to the industry, to this nation, has been immense, and here being recognized by the Honorable President of India. We now have the Lifetime Achievement Award for branding Indian food overseas, and our recognition appreciation to Shri Shyam Sundar Agarwal, the Managing Director of Bikanerwala Foods Private Limited. Recognized for his tremendous initiative, consistent drive, remarkable entrepreneurial skills, and elevating the sector to harness the huge global potential. We now have the Lifetime Achievement Award for Food Science and Technology being conferred on Dr. V. Prakash, Distinguished Scientist, CSIR, and former Director of CSIR, CFTRI. Recognized for his deep understanding of food science, exemplary life science service to the sector, combined with research and regulatory roles. We now have the Lifetime Achievement Award for Export Development of Processed Foods, and our recognition, and this is a posthumously recognition to Shri Nathmul Kejriwal, the Chairman Kejriwal Group. We have his son present with us, Shri Nathmulji. May I request him to please accept the award, being Shri Prakash Kejriwal joining us to receive the award. We cannot thank the contribution made by Shri Kejriwal, a life devoted to development of food exports through consistent policy initiatives, networking, and providing critical support to the sector. And now the Lifetime Achievement Award for creation of Best Indian Food Brand, appreciation to Shri R.S. Sodhi, the Managing Director of Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation Limited, Amul, one of the best examples, ladies and gentlemen, of working over the entire value chain and raising the bar on quality at primary, secondary, and tertiary levels of milk processing to create best Indian brand. Appreciation and thank you to the Honorable President of India for conferring these awards, for bestowing the honor. Thanking also our Honorable Minister. And as we now seek the government's perspective and the support, I would like to now request our Honorable Union Minister for Food Processing Industry, Srimati Harsimrat Kaur Badal, to kindly address this august gathering.
Honorable President of India, Shri Ramnath Kovindji, President of the All India Food Processing Industries, Dr. Jindal, Mr. Sanjeev Puri, Secretary Saab, pioneers of the industry, many of the big stalwarts and captains present here, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you and many, many congratulations to this industry on their 75th Platinum Jubilee Conference today. It's not just an honor, but I would say that it's a moment of celebration not just for the industry, but maybe for me personally. I think I was just being told before the Honorable President arrived that I owe this ministry coming into existence to the leaders of this industry who in 1988 asked the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister, to give them a ministry which would take care of their needs. So it took many, many years, but it took Prime Minister Modi to ensure a full-time minister was dedicated just to the food processing sector, and I think to this industry, and I think that goes to show the potential that this industry has. So truly an honor to be here to celebrate 75 years. Even before the country became free, we had this industry which was already contributing towards nation building. I totally agree with the motto that nature gives food and processing adds value, but even more important, today's theme that food sustains life and processing sustains food. In a rapidly growing country of 1.3 billion people in India, and the belief that we Indians have Annam Brahma, where food is considered God. No doubt that we're a very God-fearing nation, but for this human body, if there's something we cannot exist without, it's food. So food is not just necessary for our existence, but for this body, it is God itself. And for an industry which works on preserving food, on working with those who produce the food, on ensuring there is good, healthy, and adequate supply of food to feed this population, I think without doubt, this is the sector and this is the industry that holds the most transformational lever to catalyze this sector and the food processing industry in the near future as far as India is concerned. We hold the potential to become the food factory of the world. I often say that with the kind of hard work which our Indian farmers put in, 2/3, like Mr. Puri said before me, of India's population directly or indirectly involved with agriculture. The farmers have done us proud despite the challenges, where we are either in the first or the second category worldwide as far as food is concerned. Number 1 in the production of milk, number 2 in the production of fruits, vegetables, cereals, meat, marine. The farmers have indeed done us proud. But yes, we have many challenges where today we process only 10% of what we produce, and far as the fruits and vegetables are concerned, a nascent 3%. But I'm happy to say in the last 4.5 years, having a dedicated ministry just working to clear the roadblocks of this particular sector, looking back, it brings back many memories of when all these doyens sitting here, the stalwarts sitting here, while I compliment each and every one of those who have received this award today, good to see Mr. Deveshwar here after a very, very long time. I remember 4.5 years ago when they would all come to me, starting with Dr. Jindal and be it Mr. Sodhi or Mr. Agarwal or even Mr. Yogi Deveshwar, they were all We are having awful trouble with Food Safety Standard Authority of India. We cannot get our products clear. The industry has come to a halt. Please do something. And I thank the Honorable Prime Minister. Within 1 year, we got rid of the product by product approval, harmonized ourselves with global standards, and we're ready to go, which is what has led to where when we took over this ministry in 2014, I think the foreign direct investment in this sector was barely 500 million. And today we have doubled it, we're close to 1 billion. So I think the dynamic leadership of the Prime Minister who supported this sector by giving my ministry a chance. We started off, and I was just telling them we had 60 projects which were ongoing when I came here, and we have got about 600 ongoing now. So gave us the support, be it the financial support, be it the support in terms of policies, allowing 100% FDI and multi-brand retain of food, or FSSAI and all the other roadblocks that we had. Today I'm happy to say that in my ministry alone, with the total capacity creation to handle agro-produce worth 1,04,000 crores annually, a 351% increase in preservation and processing capacities in my mega food parks, 720% increase in cold chain storage capacity, and food retail accounting for 70% of the retail sector, where we have created direct employment of almost 5 lakh people over the last 4 years. I think there is no doubt that this is the most robust sector, and it's ready to grow and ready to partner with our farmers, with our leaders, with our governments, with our policy makers, and of course the industry playing the most pivotal and the crucial part in it. So I congratulate once again All India Food Processing Association, all of you over here on this 75th Jubilee of yours, and I look forward to a stronger partnership to see you take India ahead, where we bring down our wastages, we ensure there's more processing and more availability to feed the growing number of population, and ensure that not only just not a single Indian sleeps without food, but like I said, that in the coming years, India, China, Malaysia, these are the countries which are going to hold the key, not only just producing the maximum amount of food, but also the maximum number of mouths to feed. So slowly and steadily, the food processing industry in these countries is going to play the most crucial role in times to come. And I hope that India is going to take the lead in terms of technology, in terms of know-how, and be torchbearers to the other countries to how to take the food processing sector ahead. I congratulate you once again and thank the Honorable President for being here on this historic occasion with all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for being a very hands-on minister and for your very inspiring message. And we are sure the industry is going to be further surviving, thriving, and grow and evolve under your leadership. And ladies and gentlemen, as we now seek the blessings and the guidance of the Honorable President of India, I would like to request the Honorable President, Shri Ram Nath Kovind ji, to kindly address this august gathering, as I request and invite him to kindly deliver his inaugural address.
Union Minister, Food Processing Industries, Srimati Harsimrat Kaur Badal, President, All India Food Processors Association, Dr. Shobhot Jindal, other dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to be here to inaugurate the Platinum Jubilee Conference of the All India Food Processors Association. My heartiest congratulations to all of you on this occasion. This association is the apex body dedicated to the growth and development of the food industry in the country. Its very origins point to a visionary and pioneering spirit. In 1943, when the association was founded, India was not yet independent. Those were turbulent times of colonialism, war, and food shortages. The horrific Bengal famine occurred in that year. In such circumstances, the founders of the association recognized the need for scientific management of the agro-food sector. They understood the importance of a modern food processing industry to protect the needs of both farmers and consumers and to promote agricultural productivity. Over the years, the association has worked hard to achieve its goals. It has brought large and small food processing units on a common platform. It has synergized the efforts of all relevant stakeholders to establish integrated food chains and contributed to national well-being. These are commendable achievements. Indeed, the theme of this Platinum Jubilee Conference, that is, Food Sustains Life, Processing Sustains Food, itself suggests the linking of the association's aspirations with wider society. Ladies and gentlemen, a milestone anniversary is a moment of reflection and of looking back with pride. Much more than that, it is an occasion to recharge batteries. Your association is only 25 years away from its centenary. What are the benchmarks it must set itself? After all, for agriculture and for the food industry, the potential of the coming 25 years, the challenges, the technologies, and the opportunities is much more than what it has been in the previous 75 years. Thanks to the selfless perseverance of our farmers and thanks to technological and industrial advances in agriculture and agro-processing, India is not short of food today. When it comes to many agricultural commodities and even processed foods, we have a surplus. We command a growing slice of the global market. Now is the moment to scale up our ambitions for wider economic benefit, but most so for the prosperity of our farmers. The road ahead has 4 lanes. First, we must fix missing links in the farm to fork value chain. The differential between what farmers gets for their crops and prices that food consumers pay, both within the country and internationally, is substantial. It is important to reduce this. This will make for security of demand and supply, and it will also ensure sustainability of farming as a profession. Without the farmers' willingness and motivation to labor all day in the field, the food processing industry will dry up. It will not have its basic ingredient, agricultural produce. The farmer is not just your supplier. He or she is your inseparable partner. Second, and somewhat related to the first point, is the degree of food wastage in India. This is true for agricultural produce that just rots in the field or the mandi. It is also true for processed food or cooked food that goes waste. To be fair, this is a global problem. According to United Nations findings, food worth 1.2 trillion American dollars is simply thrown aside every year. That is an overwhelming statistic. It amounts to about half of India's GDP. Ladies and gentlemen, in India, food wastage poses not just economic questions, but moral ones as well. We are a country with undeniable inequalities in income and consumption. Food wastage can easily be prevented by better and more rational food distribution. This will help us serve a greater section of our people. The issue of post-harvest waste is still more pressing. A few years ago, a report by the Central Institute of Post-Harvest Engineering and Technology had estimated the value of such waste at almost 100,000 crore rupees. This is a tragedy. A majority of our agriculturists are engaged in subsistence farming. Their produce is a source of sustenance for them. If it is damaged or destroyed because of inadequate storage or logistics, the livelihood of innocent families is hurt. The food processing industry has a major role to play here. It can help build the food value chain by being a bridge between the farmer and diverse and distant markets. It can enter into long-term contracts with farmers for specific commodities and items, and it can make investments and promote infrastructure in the form of cold chains, quick movement and management of food commodities, and technology that keeps food produce safe and edible for lengthy periods. Ladies and gentlemen, the government too is taking urgent steps in this regard. Over the past 4 years, it has approved 42 mega food parks, a third of which are already in operation. In parallel, 274 cold chain projects have been announced. 129 of them are already functional. 100% FDI is now allowed in retail and e-commerce of food products manufactured in India. The Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana has been launched to modernize processing facilities and check agro wastage. Programs such as Mudra and Startup India are promoting small-scale enterprises, sometimes in the very household of a small farmer. These are adding value to food produce and giving a push to food processing at the micro level. Such initiatives can only be successful if the food processing industry, big food as it is called, becomes a facilitator and user. The ordinary farming family that starts bottling pickles or jams with the fruits it grows should ideally become a supplier to the food industry and part of a national or even international value chain. We have done this with milk. There is no reason why we cannot replicate it with other food commodities and products. Ladies and gentlemen, such hopes can be furthered by technology that is becoming available. The third lane that your industry must travel on is paved with technology. Right-sized and biodegradable or even edible packaging can curb use of plastics, fight climate change, and reduce pressure on landfills. Machines can turn food waste into animal feed or use it in it, for example, mushroom culture. This can even be done with husk and straw, which is otherwise burnt and causes pollution. Solar-powered mini cold storage facilities can be economical to run and of utility to farmers with small holdings. Ultimately, the promotion and incorporation of such new and emerging technologies is part of the domain of the food processing industry. The final point I wish to emphasize is that of processed food being compatible with modern health concerns and meeting best-in-class safety standards. In India, lifestyle diseases are a growing public health risk. Appropriate nutrients and edible items that retain the robustness and rough edge of the traditional Indian diet need to be combined with packaging and preservation. This has to be done even in ready-to-eat foods. And safety standards must be exacting enough to meet international specifications. This is critical to help your industry and your products reach new markets, especially in those countries where there is a growing fascination for Indian flavors or where the Indian diaspora resides. In this regard, I am confident that the 119 food testing labs that have been set up for or upgraded by the Ministry of Food Processing under the guidance of the Minister will be kept busy by members of your association. As more food products are created, more food products will be tested, introduced, and consumed. It is vital that a culture and consciousness of food safety is inculcated across the food value chain, from consumers to suppliers, and from large packaged food companies to neighborhood mithai shops. With those words, I once again congratulate your association on completing 75 years. I look forward to a future of plenty for the food industry, for consumers, and of course, for our farmers. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Honorable President, sir, for your very valuable guidance. And as you said, as we rejoice the past, it is time now for the industry to move to a new orbit, to achieve greater size and scale and competitiveness with an endeavor towards the safety of food, nutrition, and care and compassion for the most valuable partners of this industry, the farmers. Thank you, Honorable President, sir, for leading the way. And as we conclude the inaugural session, would like to now request and invite Shri P.L. Kaul, the Chairperson Organizing Committee, to kindly propose a formal vote of thanks.
I have the proud privilege to be invited to propose vote of thanks on behalf of All India Food Processors Association on this propitious inauguration of Platinum Jubilee Conference of AIFPA, commemorating 75th anniversary of its foundation. First and foremost, I would like to express my profound thanks and profess my deep sense of gratitude to the Honorable President of our Republic in having graced this inaugural session with his benign presence and for delivering a highly inspirational inaugural address. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to our esteemed Union Minister for Food Processing Industries for having obliged us with her kind presence and for her special address carrying a highly motivational message to all the food business operators as usual. I extend further my wholehearted thanks to respected Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, for her kind presence with us. We feel enamored with the presence of Mr. Sanjeev Puri, Managing Director, ITC Limited, an indigenous, multidimensional business conglomerate with diversified business portfolio. In a short period of about 2 decades in agro-food business, with integrated forward and backward integration, the company has achieved phenomenal success, as we heard from Mr. Puri. In view of having carried through a highly impressive rate of growth, the company has set an internal target of generating a revenue of rupees 65,000 crores from packaged foods by the year 2030, which is a great achievement, rather incredible. This kind of achievement imbibes the message that our country's economic prosperity is a direct function of the pace of development of its food processing industry. I thank Mr. Puri very much for being with us and congratulate for the achievements of ITC. I further extend my thanks to Mr. Shyam Sundar Agarwal, Managing Director of Bikanirwala Private Limited, for his kind presence here. Mr. Agarwal personifies an indomitable spirit of entrepreneurship and intuitional determination that has earned him a fantastic success in creating a powerful brand, Bikano, of the Indian ethnic ready-to-eat food specialties, sweets, namkeens, which by now are popular all over the world. He has set up a chain of restaurants in other parts of the world and which are doing very well and popularizing Indian food, Indian ethnic vegetarian food. Similar stories are there about Jits, Rasna, Haldiram, who have made our ethnic food an international brand. Amul, of course, you have already been congratulated. We are overwhelmed with the presence of a number of foreign diplomats here. I must name His Excellency Mr. Milan Hovorka, Ambassador of Czech Republic, is here. My special thanks to Madam Matija Ghosh, Deputy Ambassador of Republic of Slovenia. I wish to extend my sincere thanks to all of them for obliging us with their gracious presence here. My thanks also go out to all the dignitaries who have offered their felicitations to AIFPA on this momentous occasion, as well as to those who have taken their time out to oblige us with their wholehearted participation in this celebration. I see great participation from our associations, from food business operators from all over the country. I see everyone from South India, Kolkata, East India, and Surat and all that. So my sincere thanks to you, all of you, for sparing your time, for coming all the way to this place to participate in this celebration. We are really pleased. We also feel deeply indebted to Ministry of Food Processing Industries and also the other sponsors for their valuable moral and material support and guidance, without which organizing this event would not have been possible. It would have been difficult. I would like to sincerely applaud the executives and the deputed staff of companies like Alpcord Network, under the leadership of Vibha Bhatia, Wisdom Cinearts, and Buzz Communication, etc., for lending their professional backup in organizing this conference while working hard with our Secretariat. On behalf of All India Food Processors Association, I am pleased to congratulate all the awardees who have been honored today for their exceptionally distinguished achievements and positioning themselves amongst the most successful food business operators in the country. We also retain great appreciation for the press, correspondents here present, and the representatives of the mass media for expending wide and articulate publicity of this celebration. The efforts of our team led by Dr. Shalini Sahgal as our knowledge partners has been praiseworthy. I wish to profess my gratitude to all her 5 learned members of the team. The keen interest taken by academia from the Institutes of Excellence in Food Technology for their wholehearted participation in this conference, along with the senior students, who, as expected, are the entrepreneurs of tomorrow, has been very much laudable. I wish to sincerely thank all of them here. Organizing this classical 2-day conference required dedicated hard work of last many months, carried out by our secretarial staff of AIFPA, led by Mr. Malan, under the astute guidance and leadership of President Dr. Subodh Jindal, and supported by other office bearers and colleagues like Amit Dhanuka, Mr. Raghav Jadli, Mr. Gokul Patnaik, and Mr. Bajaj. They all deserve a big applause for sparing their valuable time to enable making this function happen with such meticulous detailing and execution. Last but not the least, I wish to thank the management of Vigyan Bhavan for their kind cooperation, hospitality, facilitation, security, and services that made it so convenient for us to organize this function here without any hassles. Finally, may I earnestly request everyone in the audience to please give me a big hand for a very enthusiastic round of applause to our Honorable President and the distributor. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we close the inaugural session, may I request you to please rise for the national anthem. Jai Hind. Once again, our thank you to the Honorable President of India, Shri Ramnath Kovindji, thanking Srimati Harsimrat Kaur Badal. Thanks and appreciation to our respected Secretary. Thanking the Managing Director of ITC and all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Many congratulations to each one of you who have been a part of this industry, contributing. Many thanks to the Excellencies, the Honorable Ambassadors who've joined us from various countries. We look forward, of course, greater relations with your countries. Now requesting you all to please join us for tea. The arrangements have been made outside in the atrium. It's going to be half an hour of tea break. And then we start with our first technical session at 12:30. Thank you.
Became independent, we already had our Food Processing Association come together to ensure that there is sufficient food and for this industry to grow. It's an extremely important sector because it links what 2/3 of India, which is the farming community, to the industry and then to the consumer. So I think it plays the most catalytic role of linking rural India to urban India and to industry, and has the potential to grow at 3 times the rate that they are growing. They have done extremely good work over the last 75 years, and I can vouch for over the last 4.5 years. I have worked closely with this industry and all the captains of the industry, and they have regularly interacted with me to come up with policies and overcome hurdles and shortcomings, which is what has energized this sector to be one of the top sectors and the most robust sectors in the Make in India. Thank you.
The best thandai that we have in India, Guruji thandai. सीताराम मिश्रा मैम हम मिलाएंगे नहीं दिल्ली में इनके ब्रदर हैं मगर ही इज ओरिजिनली फ्रॉम कलकत्ता द नेक्स्ट टाइम ही इज आवर चेयरमैन फ्रॉम कलकत्ता
And the young team of...
So we have so much in Calcutta. हमारे जितने भी slots are of our units, no one is applying from Calcutta. Why is that? West Bengal, all our slots are empty.
सर आपकी शिकायत कौन दूर कर?
हाँ करिए, इतना सारा मुफ्त का पैसा दे रहे हैं, कुछ लगाइए,
दिनेश जी,
expansion करिए.
and he is Mr. Rajat Buddhi Raja, he is the second generation.
अच्छा.
So as we see, it's legacy. So in many cases, the second generation or the third generation.
सारे मैकेनिकल ऑपरेशन ग्रीन इनके ऊपर
न्यू जनरेशन कैन फूड ऑल कैन फूड प्रोडक्ट नई यूनिट लगा रहे हैं बागपत
अच्छा.
Are seeing everything. मेरे को यार आज
थैंक यू
तो मैंने हरदीप को इन्फॉर्म किया था आप अदरवाइज भी आप कंस्टिट्यूशन
All the best to you for your. Thank you so much.